And now it's time for Stordy time. And in tonight's Stordy, it's the story of the Little Papi and the really old Bomdy. That's right, little Pete. Now, you know the mammy? Well, the mammy and the pappy were talking earlier about lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things. And the pappy said, Mammy, tonight's story will be the story of the little pappy and the really old Bomdy. And she went, hooray, pappy, hooray, a story. And he went, that's right, Mammy. Now, when the little pappy was a little pappy, he went up to his mum and he went, Mum, 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 what? Mum, see these pants? And she went, yeah. And he went, they're really old, aren't they? And she went, well, yeah. And he went, well, I'm going to play in them and they might get filthy. And she went, oh, little pappy, I'm sick to death of washing all kinds of muck out of your clothes. And he went, it's all right though, Mum, because you know what? I'm just saying they might get mucky. No, not they will get mucky. They just might, because we're going to go and play probably in the cobblers and it's filthy. And she went, okay, little pappy, but just be careful that you don't wreck your shoes and you don't rip everything up. And he went, all right, Mum. And I'll see you later. She went, okay, now go on, get out my sight. I want to do these potatoes. And he went, all right. So he gave her a kiss on the cheek and a little hug. And he said, I'll see you after, Mum. And I'll be careful. And then he went off. And then he went round to Pauline's and he knocked at the door. Tick, 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 tick. Now, Pauline. And Pauline came to the door with her favourite cereal and her blue plastic bowl and with the Baby Lucia and her dirty cup. And the little pappy went, oh, Baby Lucia, it's such a delight to see you with that nice little dirty cup with Mickey Mouse on the side that Joe gave you. And you know what else is nice? Do you know? It's that cheek. Now come here with it. Ah, Pauline, do you want to play in the cobblers? And Pauline said, do you know what, little pappy? I was coming home from school the other day and I noticed I went round the wrong way. And he went, the wrong way? How did you get home the wrong way? And she went, I went, and she went, and little pappy went, it's only coughing then. And Pauline said, I could have swore I did. And he went, all right. Anyway, what was she saying? She said, well, what it was I went the wrong way. Well, instead of coming down Fountains Road, I thought I'd go through the back way and down this entry. And the next minute, guess what I found? And he went, what? A body? And she went, no, not a body. I found a really old Bomdy. And I don't think anyone's played in it yet. But it's all open. I could see it was. And he went, all right then, let's go and explore that Bomdy. Oh, and I hope no one else knows it's there. And Pauline said, well, I don't know, but I've never seen it before, but it's really old. And little Papa said, all right then, let's go. No, hurry up and eat your cereal. And she went, okay. So Pauline ate her cereal as quickly as she could. And the Baby Lucia drank her dirty cup as quickly as she could. And when she was done, Pauline took her empty blue plastic bowl and the Baby Lucia's dirty cup with Mickey Mouse on the side that Joe gave her, straight to the kitchen sink. And she put her empty bowl in the sink and filled the Baby Lucia's dirty cup right up to the brim. Then she came straight back to the front door. She went, right, little pappy, I'm ready. And he went, okay, Pauline, now let's go knock for Tony. And she went, why are you whispering? He said, because I don't want anyone to know that we're going to that really old Bomdy that you found. And she went, oh, okay then. And so he said, right, come on. So they knocked at Tony's and shouted through the letterbox. Tick, 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 tick. Now, Tony. And Baby Lucia knocked too. Tick, 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 tick. And she shouted through the letterbox. Nee. And Tony came to the door with a nice jam buzzy for himself and a heart-shaped jam buzzy for the Baby Lucia. And he went, there you go, Baby Lucia. And guess what? It's Warburton's medium sliced bread. And guess what else? Robertson's raspberry jam. Yeah, we haven't had Robertson's raspberry jam for ages. Hang on. We haven't had Robertson's raspberry jam for ages. Now, enjoy. And so Baby Lucia went, yay, nee, yay. And so she sat down on the step and ate her heart-shaped jam butty as quickly as she could. And then Tony ate his jam butty as quickly as he could. And when he was done, he left some jam on one cheek and no jam on the other, which meant that he was ready. Then a Baby Lucia climbed up and sucked the rest of the jam off Tony's cheek. And then she climbed back down. And Little Papi said, oh, that was quick. And Tony said, see, I told you, I've been telling you, there's less and less jam on my cheek. I'm not a baby anymore. And Little Papi said, no one said you were a baby, Tony. We just think that you eat your jam butties that fast. You don't know that there's tons of jam on your cheek. And it's always on the one side. And Tony said, I know. I don't know why, because my mouth is straight. And Little Papi went, what's that got to do with it? He went, well, if my mouth was like that, then I'd understand it. Because my mouth's straight, I don't know why it goes on that one cheek. And Little Papi said, yeah. All right then, Tony. Pauline's found a really old Bomdy and no one knows it's there. And Tony went, where was it, Pauline? And she went, I went the wrong way from school. Instead of coming down Fountains Road, I went through the back streets. And I don't know how I ended up. I came out at Bennett Street. And Tony went, Bennett Street? Bennett Street's the other side of Howley Street. And she went, I don't care what street it is. I saw this really old Bomdy and only me knows where it is. And he said, all right then. Does it look old? And she went, Tony, this is really old. And he went, oh, brilliant. There might be all kinds in there. And then Little Papi said, yeah, let's go and get Delores and Charlotte and see if they want to come with us. And Tony said, okay. So they went over to Dolores's, where she was sitting on the step with Charlotte. And he went, hello, girls. And they went, hello, Little Papi. Hello, Tony. Hello, Baby Lucia. And hello, Pauline. And they went, hello. And he went, guess what? Pauline's found a really old Bomdy that's gone undiscovered for centuries. And Charlotte said, really? Where is it? And Little Papi said, she went the wrong way from school. Didn't you, Pauline? And she went, yeah, I did. She went the wrong way. She didn't come down Fountains Road. She went through all these other streets and barely knew where she was. But it was still home time. And she knew that if she walked down this street towards the other street, then she'd end up in our street. And Charlotte went, okay. I'm confused. And Little Papi said, don't be confused, Charlotte. Don't be. What's most important is that she found a really old Bomdy there and she's going to take us there so we can do some exploring. And then Charlotte said, oh, I have to know where it is. And Pauline said, well, it's up at the back of Bennett Street and between Harley Street. And Charlotte went, okay. Just past Mr. Anderson's. And she went, yeah, that's right. And she went, okay. Delores, what do you think? And Delores said, well, I'm going to tell my mummy that we're going to go up by Bennett Street and Harley Street and have a look at the Bomdy. And then Tony went, no, don't say, Delores, don't tell your mum that we're going to go to an old Bomdy. She's going to say no. And Delores said, no, she'll be okay, because she knows that we're all together. She wouldn't let me and Charlotte go there on our own. She knows that you're there and you will protect us. And Tony went, what? Because you're the eldest. Oh, yeah, I will. Little Papi went, okay then, are we going? And she said, let me just tell my mummy that we're going to go to, is it Harley Street or Bennett Street, Pauline? And then Pauline said, it's one of them. And she went, all right then, I won't be a minute. So she went in. And then after a while, she came back. And Tony said, you know what? What if her mum says no? And Pauline said, well, we don't go. It's all of us go or none go. And Tony said, okay. So Delores came back. my mummy said it's okay, saying that we're all together, but we can't be in that area when it's dark because we're not from that street. And Tony said, okay. And she said, and you look after us. And Tony said, oh, okay. She said you gave your word. And Tony went, all right then. And he said, okay, let's go. And Little Papi said, right, Pauline, lead the way. So Pauline said, all right then. Right, ready? We go up by my school, go up Fountains Road, up to the school, and then from there, I'll show you where we're going. And he went, okay. So they all went. And then eventually, Charlotte went, I don't know. I haven't seen this street before. And Tony said, see, that's good. That's good. Because if you haven't seen it, not many other kids might have seen it either. And that's why we might be the very first to discover the old Bomdy. Not only that, it'll be like when they discovered Tutankhamun's tomb. And Charlotte went, who's Tutankhamun? And Tony said, Pauline, who's Tutankhamun? And she went, King Tut. And she went, oh, okay then. And so Tony said, right, Pauline, come on. And so they all went over to the old Bomdy and they went through the doors. And Tony said, oh, yeah, it's really old. And Pauline said, it's a good thing they haven't boarded up the windows. And Tony said, yeah, because we'll need loads of light. And then a Little Papi went, yeah, we have to have loads of light because if we see a body in there, we're going to have to, we need to know how to get out quick. And Pauline said, we're not going to see any bodies in there. Stop going on about bodies. And Little Papi said, there's tons of them in them Bomdies. And Tony said, yeah, we thought we saw one once, didn't we, Little Papi? Little Papi said, yeah, and we legged it, didn't we? And Tony said, yeah. And he said, right. And Pauline said, right. And Charlotte said, oh, I'm scared now. And Little Papi said, no, Charlotte, it's all right. I was only messing. And Delores said, you wasn't messing. You did think there were bodies in there. And Tony said, yeah, but there might not be any Bomdies in this one because it could be too old. And then Delores said, okay then. So they all went inside. And then they had a look around. And once they got into the kitchen area, the Little Papi said, oh, look, there's no Pauline. What? She said, Baby Lucia, you're right there. And Pauline went, what? And he went, Pauline, there's no electric bulbs. There's no lights. And Pauline looked up on the ceiling. And then everybody looked up on the ceiling. Hey, there isn't. And Little Papi said, they must have just had candles. And Pauline said, no, look, see those pipes? And that's a gas light. They only had gas lights, Little Papi. Little Papi said, gas lights? You mean you have to walk up to them with a match and turn the gas on and that's how you get your light? And Pauline said, I don't know it, probably. And Tony said, you know what? My grandma said she lived in a house where there was just gas lights. And Little Papi said, really, did she? And he went, yeah. When she was a little girl, she said they didn't have electricity. They just had gas lights. And Little Papi said, God, your grandma must be like really ancient. And he went, no, she's not. She's still alive. And he went, ah. And Pauline said, well, in here they didn't have lights. So, oh, and look, there's an old cooker. And Little Papi said, oh, yeah. God, it must have been really dark in it. What happens if they didn't have a shilling for the gas? And Pauline said, don't know, they'd have to walk around in the pitch black or with a candle. And Little Papi said, oh, what a life. It must have been horrible. And Delores said, I'd have been frightened. What happens if they ran out of candles and it was pitch black at night and you wanted to go to the toilet? And Little Papi said, you do what me and Tony do, Charlotte. You go in the bucket. And Charlotte went, the bucket? And he went, yeah. And Tony went, shh, Little Papi. And he went, what? It's a bucket. What happens is, because you don't want to go to the outside toilet in the middle of the night, so you go in the bucket. And Charlotte said, you know what, Little Papi? I don't think we wanted to hear that, did we, Delores? And Delores went, no, we didn't. And Pauline said, thank God me dad built a bathroom. And then Little Papi said, yeah, but your dad's posh, that's why. And she went, he's not posh. He's just a plasterer. And that's posh. It's not posh. He just plasters stuff. And he made a bathroom, and that's it. And it wasn't him on his own. He had all his mates helping him. And Tony went, where did he get the bath? And Pauline said, ask no questions and get told no lies. Tony went, oh, like that, is it? And then Little Papi said, anyway, let's have a look around. I wondered if, oh, look at the wallpaper. And Charlotte looked around like that. And she said, oh, it's really old in here. Oh, look at that old table. God, that's really old. And Little Papi said, yeah, it is. They must have sat round a table and went, Madam, light the fire. And Charlotte said, they didn't call each other Madam like that. And Little Papi said, they probably did. And Charlotte said, no, they didn't. It was more like, hey, get up and light that fire, you. And Little Papi said, it's a terrible way to speak to someone's wife. Charlotte said, that's not him speaking to the wife, that's the wife speaking to him. Go on, get out there and feed them pigeons and light the fire while you're at it. And Little Papi said, pigeons? And she went, yeah, they might have collected pigeons, I'm just saying, just might have. And Little Papi said, right, all right. And then Delores said, do you know what? I wondered if they had a maid. And Little Papi said, oh, I'd love a maid. It'd be great, wouldn't it, Tony? You'd be able to say, excuse me, maid, could you please move me away from the fire because I'm hot? And Delores said, you don't talk to maids like that. And Little Papi said, well, what else do you do? And he said, you don't do none. They work for you. And you pay them a wage, a proper wage, Little Papi. And then you pay them a wage and you say, right, what time's dinner made? And Little Papi said, what time's the dinner made? And she went, no, what time is the dinner? And he went, oh, right, okay. That's what you'd say. I said, must have been great. And Tony said, yeah, if you made a mess, it just got brushed up straight away, like lightning. You didn't have to wait until your mum came home. And Little Papi said, oh, the poor maid must have been run off her feet. And Delores said, exactly. And you know how we know that? Do you know how we know that, Little Papi? Because there aren't any more maids anywhere. And Tony said, there is. Harold Wilson's got a maid. And Delores said, Harold Wilson? And he went, yeah, the Prime Minister. And she went, well, of course he's got a maid. He's busy, isn't he, messing with all them papers and stuff. And Little Papi said, yeah, I'd hate to be Harold Wilson. And Pauline said, somebody threw a stink bomb in Harold Wilson's eye. And Delores went, did he? And she went, yeah, it was on the news the other day. He went somewhere and there was all these people screaming and shouting. And then he tried to get away, but someone threw a stink bomb at him and it went in his eye. And Delores said, oh, it's terrible. Didn't the police get them? And Pauline said, well, probably, yeah. But the point is, he got the stink bomb thrown at him and then they got the fella who threw the stink bomb. And Delores said, oh, it must have been horrible. And Tony said, yeah, it must have stunk. And Delores said, anyway, let's have a look at this old house and these old bits of furniture. And Charlotte went, oh, I wondered if they had a toy room. And Delores said, I don't know. Let's go upstairs and check. And then the Little Papi said, wait a minute. Do you really want to go upstairs? And everyone went quiet and looked at the Little Papi. And Delores said, yeah, stop it. Let's go up. And so they all went up. Come on, Pauline. So they all went up. And so he went, all right, hang on. Hang on for me. And so they all went upstairs. And when they got upstairs, Delores said, oh, look, this must have been the master bedroom. And Pauline said, yeah, we haven't got a master bedroom. We've just got the front bedroom and the back bedroom. And the Little Papi said, yeah, my bedroom faces the street and my mum's bedroom faces the backyard. And then Tony said, yeah, but you've got that other small room, haven't you, Little Papi? Little Papi said, yeah, but you can't go, well, you can go in there, but if you can't bounce around or you'll fall through the floorboards because of the woodworm. And Tony said, is that what all those tiny holes are? And Little Papi said, yeah, remember that time we had the Christmas tree and I put the Christmas tree in the little bedroom when my mum put it in there because I begged her to. And then we had the Christmas tree in there. And then we saw them tiny holes in the wood in the floorboards? And Tony went, yeah. He said, well, that was the woodworm. And Tony went, was it? Is there still woodworm in it now? And Little Papi said, I don't know. But there's all these tiny holes where they went in the wood. Little Papi said, you know what? I didn't know they were woodworm. I thought it was you playing darts and dropping the darts on the floor. Little Papi said, all this time? And he went, yeah. And he went, no, it's woodworm. But anyway, you can't, if you put a bed in there, there's a good chance you'd wake up downstairs in the kitchen because you'd fall through the floorboards. Like that time when Tony fell through the floorboards in the cobblers. And Tony went, I prefer to forget that experience. Little Papi said, it's all right, we haven't. Right, let's have another look around. And Pauline said, you know what? Just think, in Victorian times, it must have been really weird. And Delores said, yeah, because then we wouldn't be able to play like this because they had this thing. Children must be seen and not heard. And Pauline said, are you sure? Children must be heard and not seen. And Delores said, I don't know, it was one of them. I think it was children must be, if they had children, it was children must be seen and not heard. I'm sure it was that. And Charlotte went, it wasn't children must be seen. No, it wasn't children must, they kept their children under control. And Delores said, that's right, they did. Tony said, I'd have hated that. Can you imagine it? You'd have to ask the maid if you could have a jam butty. And Little Papi said, they probably didn't have maids in Kirkdale. And Tony said, no, but when the people that did have maids, if you wanted a jam butty, you'd have to ask the maid. You couldn't just go and make it like I can. And Little Papi said, yeah, but Tony, even you have to sneak it. And Tony went, yeah, only if our Billy's in. But if our Billy's not in, it's easier. And Little Papi said, okay. And Pauline said, this old house is brilliant. And Delores said, do you know what? It must have been lovely when it was brand new. Oh, and it's quite big. And Pauline said, yeah. Oh, if this was my house, I'd have a lovely bedroom. I'd have one of those, you know those, have you seen Barbie's wardrobe? And Delores went, yeah. She went, I'd have it like that. And Charlotte said, Cindy's wardrobe is better. And Delores said, no, Barbie's wardrobe's good. It's all pink. And Charlotte said, I wouldn't be seen dead in having a pink wardrobe. I'd have Cindy's wardrobe. Not only that, Cindy's wardrobe's got an S on it and it's got little diamonds. And Delores said, well, Barbie's wardrobe's got a B on it. And Tony said, you know what? Have you noticed something? We're not going on about Action Man tents or Action Man tanks, are we? And Charlotte said, well, we're talking about if our dream bedroom. And Tony went, yeah, but you know what? It's just a wardrobe. And Charlotte said, yeah, but it's a special one, isn't it, Delores? Delores said, yes, it is. And I'm getting one for Christmas. And Little Papi said, I want a tank. I want an Action Man tank. And Tony went, oh, yeah. I'm going to get that Action Man, that parachuting Action Man. And Tony went, oh, that'd be brilliant. We could throw it off the 15-foot wall. And he went, you made the 30-foot wall? And he went, yeah, that one. And Pauline said, actually, it's 24 feet. And Little Papi said, how do you know that? And she said, because I worked it out. If I walked up that wall 24 times, that's how high it is. And Little Papi said, all right. Anyway, so they said, yeah, it'd be nice. And you know what? Wouldn't you like a 4-poster bed? And Pauline said, oh, that would be a dream. That would be a queen's bed. And Tony goes, there we go. And she went, shut it, peasant. Right, let's go to the next room, ladies. Little Papi said, hang on, we're not ladies. And she went, and gentlemen. And they all went to the next room. And then when they got there, Charlotte said, oh, this is a bit gloomy. And Little Papi went, yeah, it's probably because this one hasn't been used. And then Baby Lucia went, it is a dirty. And Little Papi said, oh, yeah, you could have like a little bedside cabinet for your doity cup. And you could have a nice little lamp. And Tony said, how did you understand that? Little Papi, tell me, please. All I heard was doity. And Little Papi said, you've got to listen more carefully. And Charlotte went, yeah, because it's been going on for ages now. We can understand Baby Lucia. And Little Papi said, yeah, we can. And Tony said, you know what? Oh, never mind. Baby Lucia went, it's over the knee. Oh, it's a dirty and it's over some. And Tony went, yeah. And she went, what? And then she looked around for something. And Little Papi said, what are you doing? Tony, say no. And he went, no, Baby Lucia, I was only messing. And she went, oh. And Tony said, what did she say? Little Papi said, I'll tell you after. Right. This would be, for the boys, this would be our war room, wouldn't it, Tony? This is where we'd have a map of Germany and Normandy. Is Normandy in Germany? And Charlotte went, no, Normandy's in France. And Little Papi said, you mean France? She went, no, France, La France. And Little Papi said, oh, here we go. And Tony said, I think that's how you pronounce it if you're French. And Charlotte said, that's right, monsieur. And Little Papi said, you know what? Don't, Charlotte, don't. Right, all right then. So we've had a good explore. And Tony said, no, we haven't. Look at that wallpaper there. And Little Papi said, what wallpaper? Ah. And Tony said, see, someone has been trying to scratch the way out of the room. And Little Papi said, be soft. They just tried to tear the wallpaper down, that's all. Tony went, no, that's definitely scratched. Something with massive claws tried to claw the way out of the room. Go and see if the door into this room's got a bolt on it. Little Papi said, Tony, it hasn't got a bolt on it because it's a bedroom and it's just where they've tore the wallpaper down. And Charlotte said, trying to scare us. Tony said, I'm not trying to scare no one. Look at it. That, just Pauline, tell them, does that look like human fingers have pulled that wallpaper down? And Pauline said, well, it might not have been the fingers. They might have used like a wallpaper removing tool or something. And then Little Papi went, it doesn't matter. Tony, stop it. Tony said, all right, I'm just using my imagination. All right, well, we've had a good tour. It's a brilliant Bomdy this. Can't wait to knock it down. Pauline said, okay, next time we come, we'll bring the tools. And the Papi said, all right. The end. And Baby Lucia kept falling over all the way through that Stordy. Poor Baby Lucia. Right. Now, did you like that story, Little Papi? And would you like to sit all snuggled up with the mammy and the pappy? And with Freddie and Layla and Delores and Charlotte and Baby Lucia? And with little Joni and her baby? And with Marlon and Al and Olivia to watch the story of the Little Papi and the really old Bomdy? Then that's what we will do. Now, let's give our lovely mammy a nice love and a hug and a kiss. Come on, Charlotte. Come on, Delores. Come on, Baby Lucia. Doity? Yes, you can bring your Doity cup. Doity, Mummy? You nearly forgot Tony and Pauline, didn't you? Okay, Tony. I mean, Freddie. Come on, Pauline. I mean, Layla. Right. Now, with everyone all together and all safe and sound and snug, all that's left is for me to say night-night, everyone.